Yo, this 60 East.
Yo, this Afro. And you rocking with Big Dookie Chain.
Van Styles and Tash.
Woo! All right, let's talk hip hop just for a quick second. You guys came all the way out here to Manchester, New Hampshire, as did I. But you guys are on a tour. You were just in New York before this, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, yeah. Where all did you go so far, and where do you go from here?
We started in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And then we went to Burlington. Then we went to Brooklyn. Ended in Manchester, and then we go back to the West Coast.
Now, when you were in Buffalo, did you get any? Was there any Griselda presence? When I think of Buffalo now, I just think of Griselda.
Yeah, actually, we were at the studio called Bridge Studios, and they work in Buffalo, and they have quite a few records with the Griselda camp, and a couple of producers at that studio have worked with some of the Griselda guys. So yeah.
Oh, you should have picked up all those records, came down here, and sold those at your. I know it'd be weird, but sold those at your show because you know all those Griselda records are like hard to get and super expensive and all this, you know. But all right, 60 East. I dropped a video 2015. It was you and Ninth Wonder on undergroundhiphop.com back when that site existed.
Blue.
Oh, Blue. Actually, Blue Above the Heavens was probably one of our biggest selling albums of all time. Just a side note, which I never understood that. Not that I don't love you, Blue, but it was huge. Anyhow, so you worked with Blue. He's Cali too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, talk about that.
I actually met Blue leaving Be Real TV one day. We had did an interview at Be Real TV.
Is that the same as the Smoke? What is the Smoke?
Yeah, that's where it's Be Real Studio where they host all the Be Real TV podcasts.
Okay.
So as I'm leaving doing an interview, Blue was walking in doing the interview, and my partner I was with had a song with him before. So they're talking, they introduce us, and then I ended up building a relationship with Blue from there, and I ended up getting him on that song, and that was one of my biggest songs at the time, which was 2016.
What was the name of that track?
The Origin, and it featured the Blue and Sly Boogie, which is another big artist from where I'm from, and he was on the Wake Up Show and a lot of stuff like that. And did a lot. When I got featured on Underground Hip Hop, I was like, yo, it meant a lot to me because I grew up, watching videos and ordering stuff from the website. So
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Once I got featured on there, I was like, "Yo, I made it." You know what I mean? It was definitely
awesome.
It was definitely.
What about when you got featured on Be Real TV?
Yeah, that shit was cool too.
That's Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. I remember just being a teenager listening to Temples of Boom while we're just camping in a friend's backyard, chain smoking cigarettes. So.
Yeah.
Just anything Cypress Hill takes me back to a whole different place. So you said your partner, you were in a group.
Yes.
What was the name of that group?
First Dirt.
Okay. And what happened to that group? Or duo?
So I was the youngest of the group. Everyone was, 8 to 10 years older. And, we did a lot of good stuff. We toured the country together. Murs kind of discovered us and put us on the last Pay Dues Festival. And that kind of opened us up into the whole independent hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And then, from there, cats kind of just got older, had kids, families, got careers, and I was the youngest, and I just kept doing my solo thing, and I was able to just keep growing,
But you have a family. You have kids too.
I have a daughter.
So you're doing both.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's no reunion that's going to be happening with you and them, or they're out of the game.
No, we're still working.
Okay.
We actually have an album that we haven't announced. We've secretly been cooking it for 10 years. It's
not a secret anymore. Exclusive, Big Dookie Chain exclusive.
It's like the underground detox.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's been an album we've been promising our fans for years as a group. You know what I mean? But we never put it out. So we were like, yo, we got to drop something before we officially break up. You know what I mean?
Okay. So we can look forward to that.
Yep.
If you had to recommend one track from your catalog to give somebody an introduction to 60 East, what would you recommend?
Top 10. As a writer, as a creative, I think that I could die happy knowing I contributed that song to hip hop.
Okay.
Elzai, when I first toured with Elzai, he was like, "Yo, that's my favorite song of yours." So that was
coming from Elzai.
Yo,
yeah,
I was
crazy.
yeah. So that's the one.
Okay. Shout out to Elzai too. I'm from Michigan.
Word.
So obviously love Elzai. But what would you say? Well, of course, you have an album that I just copped off you from you and the Soul Council, which is Ninth Wonders group. That's wild. Like, to be able to work with, like, I mean, it's not just like legendary. It's also like, it's basically like you have the Harvard or the institutional connect, because they are like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like you have like the university's cosign in some way. How did that come together?
I had got booked to be the opening act on the Jericho Jackson tour when Elzai and Crisis were on tour together. And then while I was on tour, I just built a relationship with Crisis.
From the away team.
From the Soul Council and the away team. While we were in Seattle, I met Eric G from the Soul Council. And then I ended up flying to North Carolina to record and work on the album. And then I met Soundtrack while at the studio. That's where I really met Ninth and them. And then, that's how I kind of met all of them.
So what does Ninth Wonders process look like?
I didn't personally work with Ninth.
Okay.
He's not on the album. He didn't produce none of the album.
Oh, okay. So
he was the one that booked me on the tour.
So he's not part of Soul Council.
The Soul Council was his production group, but he just wasn't on this album.
Okay, gotcha.
The album was like half of the Soul Council.
But you did a Ninth Wonder track tonight, though.
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
Crisis.
Oh,
It was Crisis.
sorry.
Crisis or Eric G.
Okay, I got you. I mean, legends right there, though, in their own
yes,
right.
indeed.
That's why I was saying, like, the away team. I mean, they're fantastic.
Yep.
So, talk about the album you two have together. So, 60 East Afro, you guys are promoting an album that came out last year.
Yes, sir.
2023. You had the Beavis and Butthead cover, which I love, being a product of that generation, and with great humor. Talk about how you guys met up and like went into all that.
Want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first show, we're around the same area, but the first time we really started connecting was after we did a festival in, it was in Europe. Where was it at? I can't remember.
Hip Hop Camp in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, Czech Republic. And then we had the same flight coming back home, and we're like, yo, you're around my way. And then we just started connecting. And then recently, in the past few years, started just hanging out, listening to beats, and just creating together and coming up with some ideas. And then we landed with at the sideshow, and then we're going down episode names of Beavis and Butthead. We're like, yo, what are some good names? You know, like that we could. It was just really fun and nerdy. So
Wait, is At the Sideshow a Beavis and Butthead episode?
It is.
Oh, okay, got you.
It
And what is it like working with one another? I mean, how would you describe 60 East if he wasn't in the room?
Dope, easy going, just easy.
Yeah.
Very easy going, laid back, organic. Everything comes together very well. I play beats, or I send beats. He picks the ones that he likes the most, and just go from there. He'll send me some tracks back. He's like, yo, this idea I got, and like 10 times out of 10, I'm like, yeah, that's dope. Let's rock with it.
So the production on the album,
It's all Afro.
Yeah,
it's all you.
Yeah, it's all me. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I produced.
Do you like producing or rapping more?
Rapping, but just because rapping is more personal, it's like it's the very introduction to where I am now, and so it's always MCing is always going to be the first love for me, like the very first.
Who are your top 5 producers?
Premier, Pete Rock, Dilla, Madlib, Eric Sermon.
Ooh, Eric Sermon, I like that he's on that list for sure. I actually was so lucky. I ran into a very drunk Madlib when he was in Boston, maybe about 4 weeks back. And I don't know, I was standing there with like 15 of his vinyl for him to sign. Who knew that I accidentally was by that exit door? But yeah, he's obviously like
He's
a prodigy.
He's in my top 5, if not, he's after Eric. He's up there for me. Madlib's incredible.
We didn't get Dilla on that list.
Oh, so Dilla, I would put him in my top 3 then. So it would be Premier, Pete Rock, Dilla.
What about you, 60? I know, I love doing these questions.
It's definitely changed over the years, but Primo is probably still my number 1.
Okay. Are you excited for this Primo Nas album?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Of course.
Just Blaze is probably number 2.
Oh, shit.
He's definitely fighting for number 1.
Wait, what's your favorite Just Blaze track?
It's too many. Way too many.
He did a bunch of tracks, like he did Blueprint, right, with Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to even think of Just Blaze tracks.
His catalog is insane.
Okay.
I think that's 3. I'll say Dilla. Number 5. Man. Maybe 9.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Murs 316, that album
Classic.
is insane. And did Ninth do any of the Felt albums with?
No.
No, okay. I don't know where I was coming up with that. But
Alchemist too.
Alchemist,
Yes,
Alchemist
yeah,
is crazy.
Alchemist is incredible.
Alchemist is up there.
Yeah, he's in my top 10 easily, top 8. He's up there for me easily.
We just had Onyx in town last night, and I was like, I didn't even know, and this is embarrassing, that Fredro Starr, along with Agala, produced most of All We Got Is Us.
Yeah, Fredro
including
produced
Last Days.
Fredro produced Last Days. That's one of the greatest beats of all time.
Absolutely.
Ever. It's one of the greatest beats of all time.
Eminem is actually, I was looking at the list of Eminem produced tracks, and he's a fire producer too. Okay, well, you guys don't agree with me, whatever, I'm from Michigan, Eminem brings out this. Oh yeah, what did you guys think of the last Eminem album? Okay, good. Really? That shit was fire.
We can skip that one.
All right, damn. All right, but this part of the we'll cut everything else. And just be this, and it'll be like a million comments. All right, so 60, you're from Ontario, California.
Yes, sir.
And Afro, you're from what part of California?
LA. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in a city called Bellflower.
Okay, so Ontario, I was telling you earlier, like I always see just like the most fire concerts, and I'm always like, yo, Canada's killing it, and then I find out it's California. But so you also do shows.
Yeah,
put on festivals.
I started a festival 7 years ago called The Happiness of Pursuit. It's not at the same venue where all those big shows are. We're on the independent side of things, but we've been able to, throw this festival for 7 years, and we continue to grow and make an impact on the independent hip hop community.
So what goes into throwing a festival? Everything.
Headaches, stress.
Is it worth it? Is it worth the money? Your wife has to make you quit?
The money isn't the thing. Like, I'll tell you that from the jump. It's definitely a labor of love. And the thing that has continued me to do it, even though the money is not being a factor, is, to be honest, it's the hashtag. As crazy as it sounds, because when I'm thinking of the festival and I'm just like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'll go through the hashtag and just see thousands of posts from people that have came and enjoyed seeing Afro or Sky Zoo or Rock Marcy, whoever we've had at the festival. There's just people posting like, oh, this is the best day ever. I met my girlfriend at this festival. I proposed to my wife at this event, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's the shit that keeps me going. It's definitely not the money, because I've lost more money than I've made throwing the festival. But yeah, it's definitely the response from the local community. But you've actually
lost more money than you've made.
Definitely.
This is a common theme I hear in hip-hop promotion, especially post-pandemic, but rappers are jacking their prices up like double and triple, and they aren't doing it in other genres.
It's everything. It's the cost of living. It's production costs, the sound, the stage, like everything costs, traveling costs, like it's a lot.
When it comes to actually like booking out artists, do you just choose based on who you're into, or what? Or what's like the criteria? How does one get into?
A little bit of both. So we're a mix. I book the majority of the lineup is independent artists.
Okay.
The whole lineup.
Dues festival.
Yeah, but the whole lineup is independent. But I'm talking about like the really independent cats. You know what I mean? So I always keep an eye. Like, I'm constantly on the road, so I'm always looking for cats that are doing their thing here or there, who's moving around and shaking, and I take notes on that. And I'm also just such a fan of hip hop. Like, I'm on these Spotify playlists, listening to who's dropping, what's coming out, who's this, doing my homework, and I take my job very seriously. Like, I follow hip hop to the T.
I have a hip hop question, since you brought up Rock Marciano a second ago.
Okay.
What do you think is the impact Rock Marciano has had on hip hop?
I mean, look at the Griselda wave. I would
Right.
say Rock Marciano started that, and not even just the sound, the no drums beats, but just the not the delivery of the music, but the delivery of the product, like the essence of independence, and selling my vinyls independent and selling yada 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 independent, and not going through the corporate structure. Like, I think he started that whole wave that led us to the Griselda and the Stove God Cooks and the Flea Lords and all these cats.
Yeah, people like are obsessed with Rock Marciano.
Yeah.
Marsburg being like in a lot of people's top whatever. But what do you think of the whole drumless hip hop?
I'm personally not a big fan. Like sometimes some no drum beats can be really fire and dope, but when there's an overabundance, I have heard complete projects with no drums.
Yeah, as
I'm talking 12 songs with no drums, and when it comes to that, I just can't do it. Like as a personal thing, I know like a lot of people rock with that style, and it's not knocking them. If there's like 12 songs on a project and there's about maybe 3 or 4 no drumless beats, like I could rock with that. But if it's the whole project, I can't do it. I need drums. Like I'm a drum guy.
Yeah.
I need kick and snare. I need that boom bap. I need that.
I'm with you, and I see Hero over there. I mean, he almost died. He almost keeled over and died.
Yeah, some people love it. Some people love it. Yeah.
60. You've been on. I read 500 like different stages.
Something like that.
Yeah. You've rocked with so many different artists, including like I think I read Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
And I don't remember the rest. But was there anyone like? Actually, this is a better question. What's the weirdest fan experience you've had with a fan?
This shit is hilarious because it just popped in my head that you mentioned it. But like, I did a big show with Murs and Ninth Wonder at the Observatory in Santa Ana, a sold out show, like 700 people. After my set, like I go to the bathroom, I do my thing or whatever, and then I wash my hands, regardless of what this person said. Like, I wash my hands and I leave. But I ended up getting a message from this cat later on. And then this dude is just like, yo, you killed it tonight, yada, yada, yada. I wanted to say what's up with you. I wanted to say what's up to you. But I was in the bathroom and I seen you come out and I don't think you washed your hands. So I didn't say what's up to you at the show. But that's why I'm sending you this message to give you my props. And I was like, yo, that's the weirdest shit ever. And I always wash my hands, so I was like, yo, this cat is tripping. But I always thought that shit was funny.
What was your reply?
I was just like, yo, I think you're tripping, bro.
I watched him.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this dude.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Okay, that's pretty good. What about you, Afro?
Oh man.
And this guy has psychopath.
I know.
Where do you want to fucking start?
Well, should I pick like a?
There's one. I'll give you one. It's pretty tame, but it's pretty funny because it still stays with me to this day. So, I think somewhere in Ireland, I have so many doppelgangers around the world, but I lost count. I have over 50 people. 3 or 4 people DM me a year for the past 10 years of my career, and they say, my cousin, my husband, my brother looks just like you. And they do. So
we can start an Instagram.
Absolutely, I have a whole fucking a huge community of fucking lookalike Afros. So, and somewhere in Ireland, a guy looked just like me. Another person went up to him and was like, "Are you Afro?" And he pretended to be me. He was like, "Yes, I am Afro."
It's like the fake Drake going around.
Right.
No, but the fake Afro DMs me, and then he was like, "Yo, look at this guy." Like, he tells me the story. And I laughed. I was like, "You're a dick. You're a psycho for doing that." But I'm like, you know what? That's funny. At least you like let me in on the joke, So it's a tame one, but I have more that are a little bit crazy. I just like I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
Oh yeah, I totally don't want to hear all those amazing stories.
Yeah, it's just some of them are just so some of them are triggering too.
Okay, all right. I don't mean to bring the trauma back. Shit. 60 on your site. It's $13 for a vinyl, CD, poster, or a 16-bar verse. Is this for real, or is this like a joke?
So this is like a promotion that I'm running for my album that I'm trying to chart on iTunes. So I'm like, yo, this is the promotion that we're doing. It was only for a couple of days. So
Okay.
You can grab your shit.
Till Monday though.
Yeah, till Monday. But some people have taken advantage and got multiple verses, you know, for $13.
That's smart.
But it's all love because it's part of the process, and it's just, you know, trying to get me to where I'm trying to go.
Okay. Is your background? You're Latino?
Yes, sir. Mexican.
So Chino XL. Did you ever meet him or work with him?
Yeah, that's the big bro. We both have you know, relationship with dude. Just as a fan, you know, growing up as a Latino hip hop artist, like Big Pun and Chino XL were like the gods. You know what I mean? Like those were the two cats that showed me that I could do that. You know what I mean? Whereas like a lot of cats in LA, a lot of the Latino cats in LA were a certain lane, like a certain gangster rap, and I was like, yo,
Did Frost not bring you into the fold?
I just didn't rock with that. Like I was always into lyricism, so Pun and Chino were like the guys for me at the time. And then eventually, like me coming into hip hop, I started at an internship at this independent label, and one of the things that drew me to them was that they put out Chino XL's Poison Pen.
Yeah.
So I used to like always steal CDs from the label, and then like I would be able to see like how many CDs Chino XL sold this year, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this album sold like 30,000 copies. And I'm like, yo, this shit is nuts. But like it was kind of my break into the game, and then eventually I worked with him and built a relationship. And
Poison Pen is so good, by the way.
Yeah,
I might like it more than Here to Save You All.
That was one of my introductions to him as well, and yeah, you know, we got to build a relationship over the years, from booking him on the festival, and then him coming across my music as an artist and giving me his respect, and like, yeah, that's the dude. But you know, Afro has his own relationship with him as well.
Oh yeah. Long story short, I was close with Chino, so that was one of the bigger gut punches for me recently, and I've been on tour on and off since July 28th, and he passed away July 28th, I believe. So I only had about 2 days, or like not even. I had no time to really grieve over it, you know. So that's like that one's tough. I was close with him.
A big blow to hip hop for sure.
Yeah,
And he's just a very nice guy.
Yeah, and Chino was extremely supportive of
everybody.
Like he was a fan first of pretty much anybody talented, anybody that was dope. He was like, you would always see a post like by Chino, like
comments and everything.
He was the man, like arguably he was one of the bigger supporters of the OGs of his caliber. Like, so.
Do you remember the first time you met him?
First time I met him was about, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago. It was at a show. I can't remember where. It might have been in LA and Cali, but it was. I met him about 8 years ago.
And off rip, was he just like?
He was the best. He was just like super cool, super humble, down to earth. He's like a lyrical monster giant, and in person, like he was just like the coolest, humblest dude ever. Like he'll let you know that he's like an assassin lyrically, but on the mic, you know. But just talking to him in person, he was just like the coolest.
Even his like presence and stature, like
just great.
He's
great
a big
energy.
dude, like 6'something, swole, but he'll just make you feel so comfortable. Like, yo, you know, like respect,
energy.
like
Yeah.
everything.
Wow.
That was one of the things that really hit me. Like when he passed, usually when a hip hop artist passed, people posting their music, but like the posts though I saw were just people glamorizing his character. Like, yo, Chino was an amazing lyricist, but as a person, like he did this for me, or he made me feel this type of way, and I just related to it so much.
It's very sad for sure. Speaking of like lyrical assassination, Afro, breath control. Like, is that the key to you? Just like it's insane. It's Bone Thugs and Harmony, but maybe even sped up a bit. It's Twista, but sped up. It's Tech Nine, but sped up. All these people you actually were on the track with. Like, how do you do it?
I get the question a lot.
Yeah, of course. I know. Well, it's not. I knew it was a cliche question.
No,
I'm kidding.
It's all good. At the start of it, I really put a lot of focus on like rapping on treadmills and stuff like that. I was athletic when I was younger. I was always big and stocky, but in high school I played football. I played basketball when I was young. Was always in like athletics or
Wait, do you
running
actually
around.
rap on treadmills as practice?
Not anymore,
Okay.
but when I started, I used to actually like really run on the treadmill and rap at the same time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and tricks like that. But nowadays, it's just honestly, it's like an autopilot for me now. Since like I've done all the, self teaching myself with like things like that as far as the endurance, like.
You're like Navy SEAL trained in mirror system.
No, it's just it's autopilot.
Your baseline is
Yeah.
just 10 times above everyone else's.
Yeah, it's like it's a mental. It's also mental too. One thing I do nowadays that I encourage a lot of people. People might get thrown off by it, but when we play like a video game, your character's running and the stamina's going low.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about the stamina bar. Just keep it up as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like easier said than done, but when you're like on stage and you're trying to catch your breath, just think about the stamina bar. So it's more mental for me now than it is physical.
Huh.
That's the bar.
Mental gymnastics are
but
going on while you're rapping.
if I'm
Shit.
able to mentally switch it in autopilot, I'm like, okay, it's off. I got it.
So another one who's very lyrical and fast, and like I would ask the same question to is Ari the Rugged Man, and I feel like he was my introduction to you. Was he everyone's introduction to you, or no?
I would say maybe 85-90%. Yeah, for
Oh.
the most part. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you and him? How did this begin?
He threw a contest when I was
that's right.
when I was late 16, and I did an entry. Not even to win or anything. I just wanted him to check out my music. He was like my favorite MC at that time. I was like, since I was 13, and I just wanted him to check out my track. He heard it, and he's like, yo, what part of the world are you in? And we just connected. He flew out to where I was, and we just started connecting on just some really cool hip-hop nerd stuff. It became a father figure relationship and a mentorship. He took me around the world, took me under his wing. I went from a kid recording in my room on YouTube and YouTube tracks and little mixtapes I was giving out to fans and just little like homies and close people, to go into Europe, Switzerland, Germany, London, all over Spain, Barcelona, because he took me under his wing. He gave me a shot, and and that was before the contest was even finished. He was just like, yo, like, and he had a lot. He saw it. He saw like a vision, and since then, been doing my thing. Yeah, it's been 10 years since then.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
He is the biggest hip hop nerd at all times.
Movie too.
I was gonna say movies.
I'm a movie nerd too. But
Okay, that was my next question.
But he's like the big, like, he's a hip hop encyclopedia and a movie museum.
And speaking of movies, you've been in movies.
Yeah.
How many movies have you been in at this point?
I did a television movie for VH1 called The Breaks, and then I did a movie called it's called Bitch Ass.
I like the name of that. Why have I not heard of this?
It's a horror comedy, and Tony Todd's in it. Candyman's actually in it.
The biggest
I got to work.
horror.
I got to work with Tony Todd, and that was really. I auditioned for it. They casted me, and that was a good amount of fun because I'm a horror movie guy.
Well,
So-
Ian behind the camera wanted to ask about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
what is it like working with him? Was his question.
Awesome.
I'm scared of
It was-
horror.
It was awesome. No, it was awesome because I'm also a practical effect guy. I love blood and gore as far as like how they craft their effects, handmade. I hate CGI blood.
Okay.
So I'm a really nerd when it comes to that. I got to see how they make the gore in the film. I got to see how the set pieces and what they put together. It was a shoestring budget of $30,000, which sounds like a lot, but in Hollywood, that's pennies.
No.
That's nothing.
Wow,
That's
yeah.
nothing. But I thought they did a really good job with what they had. It's really, and it was a lot of fun shooting too. We shot in LA closer to where I am. It was like probably 30 minutes from my house, so I was able to get there pretty easy every day. We shot for 2 weeks. It was during when everything was damn near locked down. So everybody was like taking a lot of precaution. It was all masked up. We had to take tests every day. It was pretty hectic at first. It was like chaotic on set, but it was also a lot of fun too. So I was like, as long as I don't shut this motherfucker down, I'm good, So and it turned out it was a really good experience. And that was the second movie that I had done, so I felt a little bit more seasoned being on the set as far as like, okay, camera operator, boom mic, okay, grip guy, okay, this. I was able to identify everybody. The first time I was on the movie set was in the breaks. There was a VH1 movie I did in 2015. And that was my very first experience on a movie set. So I was really intimidated. I was like, oh shit, this is like, I didn't want to, as long as I don't mess up my line, as long as I don't, I was nervous. But of course, I was working with Whit Harris, I'm working with Method Man, I'm working with like big time, like guys who have been in films for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, what is a Method Man like on set? Because I'm watching Power Book 2 right now.
I didn't get to like talk with him, but I got to see him act, and it was cool. It was awesome. I got to see Method Man act. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
And
his super
cool. Role in The Wire is amazing as cheese.
Yeah.
Actually, go back to Onyx. One of the best roles I've ever seen was Fred Starr in The Wire. Like that was scary. Like he played it so well.
Yeah.
So what is the Tony Todd process like? You have any insight into him?
I only got to see a little bit, but he had a pretty small role in the film, but they had shot all of our scenes first, and then he managed to get Tony Todd at the last minute.
Okay.
But we were able to see through the screens. They go like him go on the TV screen, see him go to work. So that was really cool. And it's scary. I mean, he's incredible because he can just switch it on. He's one of those guys. Like when you see him on, he's cool, super laid back, humble. Soon as action, he turns into Candyman. It's terrifying. He's like, good evening. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's pretty cool.
Another question from the other Ian behind the camera was about your first tattoo with Sean Price. Is that true?
No,
thank God I said the question was for you.
Honestly, my first tattoo was Gangstar. I have a Gangstar, the star on my shoulder right here. That was the first tattoo I ever got.
So Gangstar meant that much.
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
27.
And you loved Gangstar that much. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I understand me loving Gangstar in my 40s.
I have Guru's face on my arm.
Okay,
That's how much I love Gangstar. That's how much I love Guru. Yeah.
60, is that Amy Winehouse on your neck?
It is.
I thought she was looking at me. I've always been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
You checking me out. Wait, we're gonna come back to Gangstar in 1 second, but why do we have? What's going on?
Love her.
Yeah, I mean she's
love
great.
Her music.
Yeah.
Love her voice. Love everything.
Okay, fair enough. Amazing. Yeah, like Guru, Gangstar. In fact, I was having a little bit of a argument maybe with. Do you know Ned Welbury or Leeds? He's a promoter in Boston.
Oh, Leeds, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah,
I know Leeds.
So
that's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man. But he also like loves Gangstar. I actually really the first my introduction to Guru was on Bald Head Slick and the Click.
Okay.
Which is I actually like that album, and he's like, come on.
The 2002 album, I think, he dropped around there.
It sounds like a Boston album to me.
There's some dope joints on there.
There are. I don't know. So, I don't know what I brought it up just wanting to hear that there's dope joints and be like Afro agrees.
Yeah, no, in here, the Alchemist produced a joint on there. In here, Killer Priest, Timbo King's on the same song. That's one of my favorites. Primo has a track on there back to back. Yeah, there's some dope. The Ice-T joint I like. Yeah, there's some tracks on there.
Yeah, there's some shit.
Yeah.
You yourself have worked with like over 100 artists at this point, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who was?
I would say more than 200.
Okay. When have you been starstruck? Because you came in as a teen, like.
I've been starstruck actually a good amount of times. Because I'm a fan first. So like if I'm in the presence of somebody I actually like grew up watching or grew up listening, like I'm a fanboy. Like I do my best to not be annoying or anything, but I'm just like I just absolutely fan out, you know.
Well, you have Sean Price tattooed too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Did you meet Sean Price? Did you do a track with him?
We got to work together. Yeah.
Okay. He's the man. He was the most fun.
Sean P was arguably first comes to mind. That was probably the best experience I ever had with an MC that I looked up to. As far as like besides Chino XL and RA, I would say P was very, very high up there. Like that, just the whole.
What about him? What about that?
Everything. His personality, his jokes. Right as soon as you first meet him, you're laughing on the floor, rolling, and he's not even trying. He's just like, I remember the first incident. We had like an African cab driver. We're picking up Sean P from his crib in Brownsville, and immediately he's getting into it with the African cab driver, and it's hilarious. He's like, my friend, and like cab driver's like hurling it. They're going back at it, back and forth, and I'm just rolling. I'm crying, laughing because it's the funniest shit ever. Like,
he easily could have had his own comedy show.
It was so funny. Like, and then honestly, he was very we see him as like a very funny guy, but he was very deep too. He was very, like, honestly, he was incredibly like introspective as far as like life. And I remember us talking about heaven and stuff like that. Like, really, he was very introspective. He was an incredible soul. That's all. That's what I'll say. I really miss Pete. He was awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where it all comes together in my head, because for me, even more than like Helter Skelter's Nocturnal, obviously more than Magnum Force, Sean Price's Monkey Bars is like one of the greatest albums of all time, because it's that underhanded humor and just wittiness that's amazing, and like it's produced amazing.
Yeah, one of those kind of unapologetic.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about him, is just he's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is me. This is me. And that's why I really admired that about him too. I really love that.
We had him in a rock through at Underground Hip Hop, and during the interview, and people tell me that he was like maybe tooling on me with this, and it wasn't real, but I thought it was. He said that he used to have his wallet used to be hollowed out potato skin. And he'd use that. No, it's probably not true.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah. And who do you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Rakim, Cool G Rap, Absol.
Oh, Absol.
Yeah,
interesting.
Out of the newer guys, Lupe. I would love to work with Lupe. I was going to say KRS, but I did work with KRS.
When you just like kind of forget that for a moment, that's legendary. That was legendary status, right?
Because, hey man, my top five are R.A., Pharoah Monch. I worked with them. I got to work with Deck. Deck is in my top 10 somewhere, but I'm just thinking of MCs that like.
Did you hear the Mind Made Up Tupac track off?
Yeah.
It was off, All Eyes on Me. Did you hear the Inspector Deck verse?
Yeah, of course.
That's insane. That shit. Do you think that it was taken off the album because he was too good? I mean, we can never know. These are one of these. That's another one.
I forgot what I heard. Something was late or something
that's
didn't
what
get
people
turned
say.
in time.
Oh, is that what it was? Because of course on the interwebs.
Yeah, I've seen interviews.
I know. I think Dad said something like the tape ran out or
something.
Yeah. I think Dad said
technical
something.
Difficulty.
Yeah. Dak has been having nothing but technical difficulties. Then he had a whole album that got washed away in a flood.
That's one of the stories that really breaks my heart, because the caliber of beats that RZA gave, like Jizza, Liquid Swords, only built for Cuban Links. You got Iron Man, like those three. That trifecta is incredible.
Oh yeah, Method Mantical. Yeah.
And that Basement Flood is unfortunate. Like RZA lost about 500 plus beats in that flood. And a lot of those beats were like Liquid Swords era, like those type of beats. So he's just like, and they were going to be for Deck and You God and everybody else's solo albums.
Deck got robbed left and right. He was supposed to come out right after Wu-Tang Forever.
And that Deck album is dope, but just imagine like the Liquid Swords era. Those beats match with Deck.
Right.
It would have been argued as one of the better albums of those three or those four, those first three.
Oh yeah,
and
we got to include ODB. I was going to say we got to include him.
Album. So it's more than a trifecta. ODBs that return to the. I just think it's not fully produced by RZA. That's why I didn't count it.
Okay.
Liquid Swords is fully produced by RZA, except Fourth Disciple did Bible, but everything else is RZA. And then Iron Man is RZA. The Cuban Links is RZA. So that's incredible to me. So.
Sons of Man versus Kill Army. Who do you got? All right, so tie. If
I love them both, I was just
since like we just want to go viral, if you had to rank Wu-Tang solo albums, who's at the top? Who are the first three in order?
You want to go first?
That's a tough one. No, I don't want to go first.
It's personal preference, but I know it. For me, Liquid Swords is in my top. It's. I had it as my favorite album of all time at one point.
Yeah, I can see
and it's still up there for me. It's just a personal, like it really affected me when I was young.
Yeah.
Still does. So for me, it's Liquid Swords, Cuban Links, Iron Man. As far as those three, and then Dirty. I love Dirty's album, but yeah.
So Iron Man over Supreme Clientele.
Oh, I thought you meant as
No,
far
no,
as
no.
that-
I was just thinking.
I thought you meant that era. As far as
Yeah,
that
no,
era.
sorry, I'm just spinning off now.
No,
in my
so
head.
to me, Supreme Clientele, I think the rhymes are better. I think the lyrically it's sharper. It's a sharper album. I just enjoy, I would say, the beats more on Iron Man.
Okay, and we're not even going to ask you that question. Instead, we're going to ask in order Redman top 3 albums.
Oh, I know that one. I know.
Okay, Afro Go, since you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Muddy Waters.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Muddy Waters. What the album? Dare is a Dark Side.
You know he didn't like There's a Dark Side.
Yeah, he hates it because it was a really tough time in his life when he did it. It was really. I think his sister passed, or he said it was the darkest time in his life when he did Dare is a Dark Side. So look at the album cover. It's freaky. His head is poking
it's
out
crazy.
of the bird. Yeah, it's a bugged out album. I love it though.
Yeah, I love it too. So 60, we're gonna end with this, but top 3 and in order Spice One albums since you're West Coast.
I could have named 3
Oh, that's
Spice
right.
One albums.
You already said you're not into the gangster shit.
No, I mean, Spice is a little older than my generation.
Top 3 West Coast albums. Is Kendrick Lamar?
There we go.
Oh, that's too hard.
Top 3 West Coast.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's hard for me.
I would probably stay top 3.
That's tough.
I mean, I would say the Chronic and Doggy Style. The first,
I mean, that's
and then Cypress Hill Black Sunday.
that's obvious. I would probably.
But you can't pick those. You can't pick those.
All right, cool. That makes it easier.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't put these in order. I don't want to put them in order, but the Game documentary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was in high school.
Great album.
I was in high school.
Great
The
album.
production on every fucking single song,
Great
like
album.
And
amazing.
mind blowing when that came out.
Damn, there's so many.
Wait,
Alright,
would you rate that or Get Rich or Die Trying higher?
Me personally, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
Probably. I might edge them out. They'd probably be equal to me. And the other one, I'm just gonna say what's on my head at the time, but Exhibit, Restless, so influential to me.
Great album.
So classic. Man, there's
And
so
you like
many.
that more than what was the one with Paparazzi? That was the first one, right?
Yeah, that
Speed of
40,
Life.
40
That's Speed
days.
of Life.
No,
Yeah.
it was that one, right?
No, 40 Days, 40 Nights. I do not like that album.
Yeah, so Restless was my shit.
It's over Bird's Eye View with the movie cover. At the Speed of Life.
There's so many. I
Yeah,
want to
that was
say.
good.
I want to say Dilated Platform. I want to say Far Side shit. There's so many. I want to say Kendrick. Kendrick's first album. For me, shit. I would probably go with Good Kid, Mad City. Right now. Yeah, so I'll rock with those 3.
I feel like in the directorial bed over there, we got Jam Young. Let's pan over to these 2 at Hero. Like, I'm sorry,
Young
we can't
Heroes
leave you
is
guys
chilling
out.
over here.
You know, just how you wanted to be interviewed right now.
Perfect.
Well, thank you guys. We could go on and on, but it's just.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say we count Blue. Blue's West Coast, right?
Blue is West Coast, yeah.
Below in Exile, Below the Heavens.
Yeah, there's so many.
That's
Okay,
one of my favorites.
Operation Doomsday or Mad Villain?
Mad Villain for me.
Yeah, me too.
And
Also,
Mad
Soul on
Mad-
Ice is fucking crazy.
Soul on Ice is amazing. Sorry, that was
I'm
Rat
Soul on
Castle
Ice
on
is
Ice.
phenomenal.
That's our guys.
So
To me,
many.
Jurassic 5 is West Coast.
Yeah, Jurassic. Wait, okay. I'm interested. Which Jurassic 5?
I love both. I love Power in Numbers and
Quality Control.
Quality Control. There you go.
But Power in Numbers for me.
That's my favorite.
That
That's
one's
my favorite.
wild.
That one's
And we just had Charlie Tuna out here. He's the man.
That's my guy.
He smokes a lot of weed.
So do I.
Who do you think's a smoke out? You versus Charlie Tuna. That's
Me. I'll smoke.
I got my money
I
on
will
that.
smoke.
I've been around a lot of rappers that smoke weed, from Devin the Dude to
he's
whoever.
my dude.
But this dude Afro.
I smoke more than anybody you'll ever meet.
Afro smoke.
Wait, so how do you How do you still rhyme so fast and remember all your shit?
That's the mystery right there.
Because I can.
You're like a prodigy.
Sponsorship, bro.
That's
That's
crazy.
sponsorship. You gotta get Peloton to fucking give you a fucking sponsorship.
Oh
Yo.
man, it's all a mental thing though. Like as long as I'm never cocky, as long as I have, that's personal between me and God. I'm like, God, just keep me grounded. Because it's very easy to be like, I can do this shit. I could knock it out. Next thing you know, you're spaced out, or you're too drunk, or you fail your job. So
That's
so
the only way I
there
know.
is a balance. Like I have to have a balance. Like I smoke my face off every show, but I drink too. But I drink after the show. So
Yeah.
there's control with certain things, but when it comes to tree, that's my thing. That's
Already
my
the
thing.
rugged man doesn't smoke,
He
does
doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke, and I've been through that. Yeah.
Speaking of
There's
not
been some
drinking-
tours that have been tough because of that. Because we're opposite. I smoke. He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not fighting over anyone's weed. So what's the number one weed song in your opinion?
That was tough for me.
Wow.
That was really tough for me. Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke.
I'm about to say for me,
Wait,
it's,
that's a movie.
No, but it's a song.
Oh, is it?
It's a song.
Shit.
Up in Smoke. It's absolutely a song.
for me,
Okay.
Styles P, Good
Oh,
Times. Just
yeah.
because
Yeah.
that when I first started smoking weed, I think I was like in junior high when that song dropped, and that shit was playing on Power 106
Yeah.
at 420 every day, and I would always be burning to that. So like to me, that's the one.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me, it's Doobie Ashtray.
Oh, like that
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a
Primo on the
classic
beat.
one.
Primo on the beat.
Because everyone always says Loonies. I got 5 on it.
I like that song, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's a banger. It's a classic. I just think it's a little bit overplayed, in my opinion. There's certain songs I just
Yeah.
As a Queens cat,
You've heard a million.
Pan,
50 Cent.
I get high on-
That was mine too.
Bro,
That
that's-
was mine. That was mine
I know,
too.
but
I know.
it's for us though.
That's the fucked up part.
That was mine too.
I crushed my enemies like I crushed the half sheep.
Dope song.
Yeah, amazing song.
Yeah.
Any parting words before you two leave this earth and head to LA?
Oh, that sounded crazy.
I know.
Sorry, I got caught up in the horror.
Check out the
thing.
new album, produced by members of the Soul Council,
Just
my
dropped
hometown.
I bought it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm about to listen to that on the ride back.
Hit at thesideshow.com to keep up with everything 60 East and Afro.
Yeah. I got a new project dropping this Friday, Aphrodisiac Part 2, completely produced by myself. And give it a chance. It's going to be on Bandcamp and YouTube on September 13th, and then after a week or so, I'm going to upload it to the Spotify platforms.
And would you say it is an aphrodisiac for those trying to get in the mood?
It's anybody else's interpretation. For me, it's just like some suave, goofy Pinky, like Clifton Powell playing Pinky type of shit on Friday. Like, that's my kind of stuff, just really goofy. Like, goofy player, boom bap, funky. But there's also some introspective, mellow joints on here too. But it's smoke, cruise to it, smoke to it, you and your lady or you whoever, that's definitely just a hangout album. There's lyrical stuff on there too, like my usual style, but it's definitely like a chill album.
Cool.
Or EP. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. It was an awesome show. Thank you guys over there very much.
Hey,
too.
thank you, man.
know?
Shout out to you.
Appreciate everybody and safe travels.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having us, bro.
Absolutely. It's an honor for me. You guys are the lyricists. I'm just asking questions. That's all I gotta do is just ask questions.